So it's quite a interesting journey. I joined the collection 4 years ago, and the main idea was to basically reposition Sky Villa Boutique Hotel. It was the newest addition to the collection. At that stage, it was already known as Cape Summer Villas Boutique Collection, and so that was my main focus when I joined the collection. And as time went on, we felt like the name was a bit limiting in terms of who we are. Obviously, it's Cape, meaning that we just have our roots in the Cape, which is true, but it also mentions villas. So we felt, based on the fact that we had a hotel in the offering or in the collection, we felt it was a bit limiting. So if people searched us online and all those type of things, it kind of gives quite a narrow perception of what we actually offer. So I think, going back, it's always been something we've wanted to do, but we weren't bold enough to do it. We thought, let's just add some credibility to the properties that we currently had in the collection back then, by forming the collection and starting to promote Cape Summer Villas collection. However, like I said, it was a bit limiting. So it's taken, I suppose COVID probably spurred things on a little bit. We had a little bit more time to think strategically. After numerous sessions with the owners and the investors, we thought, okay, fine, who are we? And we came up with RAW Africa, and RAW meaning the natural elements of all the properties that we have. The owners are very into the raw elements, natural elements of everything, and it's kind of a key characteristic in all our properties. And Africa, just to give it more of a global appeal. We also just wanted to obviously branch away from the fact that we stuck in the Western Cape. We currently are, but we do have plans to expand, and those are being fast-tracked at the moment. There's a couple of projects on the horizon. I think that's the main reason. And then if we look at RAW itself, it actually also became an acronym, and it stands for Real Authentic Wanderlust. So that's what we want to try and get the word out there, to say that if you come and stay with us, you're going to get that real authentic African appeal. And so that's the main reason why we decided to rebrand. So basically, how we feel about that specifically is that, obviously South Africa has many good brands out there. So we don't want to be bold and say that we are different or anything like that. We very much focus on our own race. We look at our own strategic objectives, and that kind of defines who we are. We do focus and emphasize a lot on empowerment, as well as the dynamics of just ensuring that our employees feel like they can make decisions in the workplace. We very much go on our boutique nature of our establishments, and we want to empower the employees to feel like they can make decisions. So there's not always this rigid chain of command. We say, make a decision now and then answer later. And it kind of gives them the sense of, being able to be more accommodating to guest needs, especially from the guest experience perspective. We like to make sure that our guests feel homely. And I think where there are issues, especially in terms of the guest experience, it's difficult, especially from a corporate structure. A lot of the hotels, follow the very rigid chain of command, whereas we are more flexible. And it allows the guests to feel a little bit more accommodated earlier on, without having to have the frustration of waiting for the next person to get back to them and those type of things. So in terms of like responsible tourism and empowerment, we definitely like to focus on that, and we want to make that an element of the whole stay for our guests. So it was kind of a shock to the whole hospitality industry as things transpired. Everything happened very quickly, and we had to kind of think on our feet. And this applies to all the different hotel brands and restaurants out there. There's no textbook on how to handle the pandemic or how we should go about things. And I think it was also, made it a little bit difficult for us in terms of the industry in terms of the direction we got from national government. There was really no direction. So we kind of had to think on our feet, and that was obviously aggravated by the fact that the regulations kept on changing. So what we found very quickly was that, the traditional hotel structures that we had in place previously, and I think this is a trend for all hospitality establishments, is that we found is less is more. Not to say that we went on an objective of cutting down our payroll and all those type of things, but we found that employees that we did have, within our establishments actually could do a lot more and actually thrived on doing more. So we kind of running all our operations quite lean at the moment, and we feel like in terms of the guest experience, it's a lot better, more effective, and that when they're dealing with a waiter or a waitress or a receptionist, the staff feel a little bit more empowered. And like I said earlier on, is that they feel like they can make decisions. And that just speaks a trend for the whole collection in terms of the staff being able to make decisions and make things a little bit more smooth in terms of the guest experience. So COVID, obviously we're still under the pandemic at the moment. It hasn't been officially said it's over. However, we are making sure that we are keeping things lean, and we currently focusing a lot in terms of skills development to get our staff on a different level. So we're investing a lot more time in that. That's where we are currently in terms of COVID and all those type of things. So there's quite a comprehensive process that one has to undergo. I suppose it stems from an idea, and you just got to kind of believe in that idea and the direction that you want to go. Obviously, in terms of having like a global appeal, there's a lot of things you have to consider, and I think the key critical thing of it all is to be collaborative. Don't just feel like your idea is the best. It's always better to obviously hear other people's opinions. Test the logos. You can't even imagine how many logos we went through just to get to this final one. And actually, when we actually found the final one, it wasn't actually the final one. We had to change it again. So I think in general, you have to be collaborative. You can't be so rigid in the way you think. You need to involve as many people as possible, from the customer to your stakeholders or shareholders. Even in your employees, at the end of the day, they have to live the brand. They have to be the one that puts on the uniform and face of the establishment. So, we decided that it's always best to obviously tackle those things in that way, because I think rigidity is not the best way to go about it. So be as collaborative as possible. I think that's the key component in that.